Shalom. Bonse. Kalala Limla. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Bashem Kodash. The blood to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim out there pushing this word, sincerely and in 100% truth. To the men, women, and children, that believe and call upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Though, if you're not a part of a camp, shalom to you as well. Peace to you as well. um, and much peace, love, and blessings to the elect of Israel. This is Kazakh from James, Jamaica, coming to you from the Day of Atonement. And this is a very important day, within our culture, within among the children of Israel. This is something that is practiced year to year, you know, um, before our lifetime, you know, and we are basically, keeping that tradition going, you know. So like, yeah, we're basically keeping that tradition going, all the way up until this timeline. All right. So, for those, most of us already know what the Day of Atonement is about. So for those that don't know, just gonna get into um, a little edifying session. All right. So we're gonna start with Leviticus 23 and verse 27. As a matter of fact, let me start from verse 20. Start at verse 20. Hold on. One second. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's start from verse 20. Verse 24. Um, Leviticus 23 and verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the seventh month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation. All right. We already passed, the day of the blowing of trumpets. All right. About 2 weeks ago, basically. Uh, and unfortunately, a lot of our people, you know, a lot of Jake got caught up in the madness of the rapture. Using the blowing of trumpets, right, as some kind of marker for set a date to them being delivered, which heresy. I've made a couple videos on the topic. All right, verse 25: Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. Now, obviously, we no longer do um those types of sacrifices, where we offer a bullock or a goat or doves. you know we're no longer under the sacrificial law, right? For edification's sake, Yahushai came, died on the cross, and became that um, ultimate sacrifice. Right? So that's why we no longer do the physical sacrifices. The sacrifices of the Lord, in this day and age, is a broken spirit and a contrite heart, according to Psalms 51. All right. Now, so, okay. Continuing, verse 27. Also on the 10th, verse 26. Yeah. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, also on the 10th day of the seventh month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. All right. Now, again, as I say, we're no longer doing that physical offering, right? That physical sacrifice, right? The blood sacrifice, right? Now, what we do, is to afflict our souls, all right? Afflict our souls, meaning we fast, where re- we refrain from eating and drinking for 24 hours, all right? We and it when you fast, there's a specific way how you do it. You're not supposed to make it seem like you're fasting. A lot of people, according to the scriptures, as a matter of fact, let me get it. Matthew 6 and verse 16. Moreover, this is Yahushua speaking. Moreover, when you fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Right? So, yeah, as the scripture say, as Yahushua say, it is a hypocritical thing for you fast and make it known to everybody say you're fasting. Make up your face. You know, you basically carry yourself away for people to say do something or announce it. Some of them on a fast. No, your fast is a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is between you and the Most High, right? Between you and Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Seen? um so yeah, so that's the sacrifice, that's the atonement. Now let's look up the word here. Afflict. All right, now the word afflict right here, there's a few entries, a few definitions. It says to be occupied, be busied with, to afflict. Right, second entry says to afflict, oppress, humble, be afflicted, be bowed down. All right, to be put down, depressed, downcast, to stoop, afflicted. All right, humble oneself. Right, to weaken oneself, to humiliate, humble. Seen? Right, so you basically put yourself through a difficult situation, for lack of a better term, right? But there has to be you have to be careful with how you do that, because um there's a lot of other what you call it, um not doctrine, but traditions, out there, mainly heathens, who believe in physically harming themselves, right? There's a specific culture, I believe, in East Asia, right, where them literally beat themselves with, um not East Asia, I believe West Asia, like India, around that region. Them basically physically beat themselves with whips, or something where basically cut them, right? That'll feed them atonement. See, not according to the scriptures, 'cause the word atonement. As a matter of fact, let me look up the word. Should I look up? Should have looked up that word first, so we have a understanding of what it means. All right. So, the Hebrew word for atonement is kapar. All right, kapar. And it means atonement. Um, let me see if we can just bring it up quick in a Merriam-Webster. Atone. There we go. All right. The word atonement means the action of making amends for a wrong or injury. So in our case, as Israelites, we are basically are asked, Yahweh Shem Yahushai forgiveness for our sins. And we do it, by way of self-sacrifice. Meaning we afflict our souls, we fast, right? But we could get into that right now. So it says, "You shall afflict your souls," right? As we go through the word afflict, now we're gonna go to the definition for the word souls. All right. Um. So this is from the Hebrew word napash, and the Hebrew word for afflict, it was aina. So like I've never bring it out earlier, but the definition for the word napash, all right, which as we say soul, it says soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion. So, in that sense, your soul is basically who you are, right? It is your appetites, the things that you desire, right? Your the things that you crave, that you go for, right? What your passion, seeing. So that's what makes up the soul of a person, you know right. It goes much deeper than a lot of people think. All right. you know but in this instance, for the purpose of this lesson, right, the affliction come by way of your your appetite. You afflict your appetite, right? Or you humble your appetite, because as we go into the word afflict, humble, bring low, right? um depress, seeing. So you bring your appetite into a form of subjection, also your mind, because there's a lot of things where we dip our mind day to day, but we focus on. That's why according to even the law of the atonement, you don't do no work, right? You're supposed to see it as a Sabbath, right? A day of rest, basically. Seen. So all your desires and your emotions and your appetites, your the things that depend on your mind, right? These things are where you put under subjection in that day, right? You oppress yourself from all of these things for 24 hours, right? And as a matter of fact, we want to go into the word appetite as well. And this is something that we did do before, in our previous Day of Atonement video. All right, let's see if I have Merriam-Webster on this. Okay, yeah. All right, so this is Merriam-Webster. We're gonna look up the word appetite, because even the word appetite goes a little deeper than just your one's desire for food. All right. Okay, here we go. So this is the word appetite, and its definition. As a noun, it says any of the instinctive desires necessary to keep up organic life. Right? Again, any of the instinctive desires necessary to keep up organic life. Right? So your appetite is the instinct, um, basically, of living. Seeing. Um, Okay, so let's go to some of these synonyms. All right, craving, desire, drive, hunger, itch, longing, lust, passion, thirst, urge, yearning, right? So these are a few of the uh, synonyms, right? Are words that are synonymous with appetite. Seen? Um, okay, so let's go to read a little bit of the etymology for the word appetite. It's a, it is Middle English appetite or appetite, inherent drive or urge in physiology, desire for food or drink, longing, borrowed from Anglo-French and Latin, Anglo-French appetite, also continental Old French appetite, borrowed from Latin appetitus or appetitus, natural or instinctive desire, right? Variant stem of appetite, to try to reach, of a natural desire for, seek to obtain, strive after, uh, from up and petir, to direct one's course to, seek to obtain. All right, so yeah, so there you have it. The word the your appetite is more than just a desire for food or a desire for drink. It is a desire for everything that will basically drive you or push you. See, so this is what you're supposed to bring into subjection. That is what this new sacrifice is all about. Suppressing one's desires, right? So whether I want to be, you know whether I want to be, your passion, whatever it is that you're passionate about, your job, um sex, you know your hobbies, right? You basically put them thing there aside for 24 hours and just focus on Yahweh Shemi Shai. Pray to Yahweh Shemi Shai. And you know fasting is one of the best ways, for actually draw near to Yahweh Shemi Shai and receive that spirit. you know Fasting. um this is, let's read it from here. So I read it from a different screen. So this is King James version, Romans 8 and verse 13. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. And that's what you do when you are fasting. Basically mortifying the deeds of the body. You know, as we said, yeah, bringing your appetite into subjection. NLT version, it says, for if you live by its dictates, you will die. But if through the power of the Spirit you put to death the deeds of your sinful nature, you will live. All right. Yep. Uh, yeah, I think that pretty much covers the point that I wanted to bring out. Hopefully, this lesson was a edifying one. Until the next one, give our praise again to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Kodash, to the apostles of Great Stone, and Shalom to the Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Much peace, love, and blessings to the elect of Israel.